All right, guys. It's 9:05, so I think we'll go ahead and get right into it. First of all, good morning. It's good to kind of see you guys. Today, we'll be starting a new story by an author who is very famous for his short stories. And we'll be talking a little bit about that in just a couple minutes. I wanted to throw out some quick announcements. First of all, I wanted to shout out a couple of people. I know that Santos has recently leveled up in Reading Plus. I know that Alexa Casillas has recently leveled up in Reading Plus. It's absolutely fantastic. Just because school is not at the site doesn't mean the learning doesn't continue. So really to you, I know how hard it is to persevere. Excuse me, kudos to you. The next thing I wanted to make note of is I want to appreciate everybody who did their work last week. We have more and more people doing their Common Lit work. We're still struggling in the area of blended, but we'll continue to improve there. Not only were kids doing their work, but it was better work. What I would recommend to you is that you try to do your work in a little bit more timely fashion. So what's happening is, as I'm sure most of you know, Thursday and Friday, I'm sending out notices to parents with regards to where kids are as far as work completion, and it's freaking parents out, and they're probably all over you guys as a result. So I recommend trying to get your work done in a timely fashion on the day that it's assigned or soon thereafter, so you don't have to be on that list and have your parents all taken out. Last thing, and this one's important. And Miss K is going to be sending out an email about this or a post on Parent Square. From now on, and I'm not going to make you guys do it today because I want you to be prepared, if you will. You need to, when we're on Zoom, you have to be on camera. You have to be on camera. I guess there's been some issues with people taping it and posting it, and this has been mainly in the younger grades. They've been taping it, I don't know why, and posting it on social media, which is a violation of about 1 billion different school policies and some privacy issues as well. Okay. So starting tomorrow, we have to have your cameras on, or I'm supposed to kick you out of the room. So please, I'll be flexible on that. Like maybe you don't necessarily have to be in the picture or something, but your camera has to be on. You can be beside it or I don't know, something. I try to respect the fact that I know you guys are in 8th grade. Sometimes if you're not looking perfect, you don't want to be seen at all. And I understand So like Evelyn right now, that's perfect. I'm totally fine with that. She has her camera on, and I can't see her, but I know that she's not taping anything. Sorry, I know that's silly, but there it is. I'm sure you guys can find a way to navigate that. All right, any questions? Okay, well, I'm going to try to make today kind of short and sweet. There you go, Cassandra, perfect, exactly. What a lovely, look at that, a lovely ceiling. She may have just flipped me off, which I appreciate. Oh, that's perfect. Man, you guys got a lot of ceiling fans happening. Very classy. I miss you guys. So I forgot completely where I was. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this new author. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to read you. I couldn't find a good video about him, so I'm going to read you an article. This author is French, and so you are going to get to laugh at me, and you can all laugh at me except for Doyle. and I don't want to hear it, Doyle. Actually, no, I don't want to. Okay?
Actually, it's pronounced Guy de Maupassant.
Yeah, no, that's wrong. Okay, so there's a lot of words I'll mispronounce here, but I wanted to give you some background about this guy because he's kind of interesting. So his name is Guy de Maupassant. Guy de Maupassant. Guy de Maupassant, 1815 to 1893. So he was only 43 when he passed. French author of the naturalistic school, who is generally considered the greatest French short story writer. Guy de Maupassant was probably born at the Chateau de August 5th, 1850. In 1869, Maupassant started to study law in Paris, but soon at the age of 20, he volunteered to serve in the army during the Franco-Prussian War. Between 1872 and 1880, Maupassant was a civil servant, first at the Ministry of Maritime Affairs, then at the Ministry of Education. As a poet, Maupassant made his debut with Des Vers. In the same year, he published the anthology, and I won't even try, edited by E. Zola, his masterpiece, Boile des Suites. During the 1880s, Maupassant created some 300 short stories, 6 novels, 3 travel books, and 1 volume of verse. Verse that refers to poetry. In tone, his tales were marked by objectivity, highly controlled style, and sometimes by sheer comedy. Unusually, they were built around simple episodes from everyday life, which revealed the hidden sides of people. Among Maupassant's best books are Une Vie, which is a woman's life in 1883, about the frustrating existence of a Norman wife, and Bel Ami, which depicts an unscrupulous journalist. Pierre et Jean was a psychological study of brothers. Maupassant's most upsetting horror story, La Orla, was about madness and suicide. We'll have to read that one. Maupassant suffered from his 20s from syphilis, which is a brain disease. The disease later caused increasing mental disorder, also seen in the nightmare stories, which have much in common with Edgar Allan Poe's supernatural visions. Critics have charted Maupassant's developing illness through his semi-autobiographical stories in Abnormal Psychology, but the theme of his mental disorder is present in his first collection. So, and then you can see on January, he tried to commit suicide by cutting his own throat, and he was placed in a private asylum. So sometimes when we read short biographies of our authors, it kind of gives us an idea of where some of their work came from. So as it spoke to, as his work changed, as he became sicker and sicker. His work changed and became more dark as he became more and more mentally ill. Today, we are going to read one of his most famous, if not his most famous short story. It's called The Necklace. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my Common Lit webpage. I am going to log in, as I hope you're doing now too. All right, so Guy de Maupassant was a French writer known for his skillful craft of the short story. Maupassant's stories even often reveal the truth about human nature, about the way we are, through the events of everyday life. As you read, take notes about how the author characterizes Madame Loisel and what motivates her behavior. Now, forgive me. So, there are the annotation directions. Okay, look at the main character's behavior, Madame Loisel, and annotate. Annotate what motivates her behavior. What drives her? And then you can see here, I have given you a scaffold. All right. Once again, scaffold also can be found on Google Classroom. Question? No. Great. Okay. So here we go. The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant, 1884. She was one of those pretty and charming girls born as though fate had blundered over her into a family of artisans. She had no marriage portion, no expectations, no means of getting known, understood, loved, and wedded by a man of wealth and distinction. And she let herself be married off to a little clerk, the minister of education. Okay, so she was very pretty, but she was very pretty, but didn't marry well. Okay, and when I say marry well, that means didn't, it's a phrase, an old phrase that we would not use anymore. It didn't marry into wealth.
Oh.
Her tastes were simple because she had never been able to afford any other, but she was unhappy as though she had married beneath her. For women have no caste or class, their beauty, grace, and charm serving them for birth or family. Their natural delicacy, their instinctive elegance, their nimbleness of wit are the only mark of rank and put the slum girl on a level of the highest lady in the land. See what our first question is. Okay, so which statement best explains why the girl is unhappy? Okay, because she does not get along with her classless family? No, it doesn't say anything of the like. Because she is not beautiful enough to get a rich husband? No, in fact, it says the opposite of that she is very beautiful, but for one reason or another, that didn't amount to wealth. Because her family refused to help her find a good match for a husband. Didn't say anything like that. Because she feels she deserved to marry a man above her class. Okay, so she feels that because she is pretty, she should have been able to marry someone who was rich.
Yeah.
Gold digger.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
You got that right, Paul.
What'd you say? No, being serious. I'm being serious.
Gold digger.
Right. Nothing wrong with writing that. That's great. She suffered endlessly, feeling herself born for every delicacy and luxury. Okay, I want to translate that. That's a little hard. So she thinks she deserves only the very best.
Yeah.
She suffered from the poorness of her house, from its mean walls, worn chairs, and ugly curtains. All these things of which other women of her class would not have been aware, tormented and insulted her. The sight of so I want to make, because some of this writing is a little bit difficult, when I run into something I understand, I want to make sure and capture it. Women of her class, women of her class wouldn't care because they aren't as beautiful. don't believe they deserve more. This woman's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And this time there's multiple.
The sight of the little Breton girl who came to do the work in her little house around her heartbroken regrets and hopeless dreams in her mind. She imagined silent antechambers, heavy with oriental tapestries, lit by torches in lofty bronze sockets, with 2 tall footmen in knee breeches, sleeping in large armchairs, overcome by the heavy warmth of the stove. She imagined vast salons, hung with antique silks, exquisite pieces of furniture, supporting priceless ornaments and small, charming perfumed rooms, created just for little parties of intimate friends, men who were famous and sought after, whose homage roused every other woman's envious longings. So this part right here, this is the world she dreams of, not the world as it actually is. So she lives in a fairly poor or normal place, and she dreams of this really ornate place, rich place, a castle, a mansion. When she sat down for dinner round the table covered with 3-day-old cloth, opposite her husband, who took the cover off the soup tureen, exclaiming delightedly, "Ah, Scotch broth, what could be better?" She imagined delicate meals, gleaming silver tapestries, peopling the walls of the, excuse me, guys, with folk of past age and strange birds and fairy forest. She imagined delicate food served in the marvelous dishes, murmured gallantries, listened to with an inscrutable smile as one trifled with the rosy flesh of trout or wings of asparagus chicken. So we learned something here about her husband as well. He appreciates the little things, not wanting something fancier. So again, she comes in with the soup. He's like, "Oh, this is awesome soup. I love soup." And she's like, "Yeah, it sucks." She was thinking of trout or asparagus, chicken or whatever.
He's thankful.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Very nice, boys. He's thankful. He's grateful.
Yeah.
She had no clothes, no jewels, nothing. And these were the only things she loved. Wow.
Okay.
Humble.
That just shows the difference of them.
Yep. Beautifully put. Shows the difference, really nice, between the characters.
Yeah, like one wants so much like richness while the other one appreciates the little things.
That's right.
They're like the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're learning a lot about her character. That's exactly right. And these were the only things she loved. She felt that she was made for them. Oh my God.
Yep.
She had longed so
Look at her.
eagerly to charm, to be desired, to be wildly attractive, to be sought after. She had a rich friend, an old school friend who she refused to visit because she suffered so keenly when she returned home. She would weep whole days with grief, regret, despair, and misery. So I want you to take a moment. I want you to look at this question: which of the following best describes the husband? And I want you to answer that one for yourself. And I'm going to call on somebody in just a second. Which one best describes the husband?
Got it right. Oh.
Okay. Who would like to answer this question?
Me.
Who's
Me.
Evelyn? Wonderful. That's wonderful. What's the answer, Evelyn?
D.
B.
I agree.
He is content with their poor life and feels it is already fulfilling. That is absolutely correct. Outstanding. Okay. So what I want you to do now is please read and annotate this section of text and then answer question number 3. I will give you 3 minutes to do it. Excuse me. Two more minutes.
Oh, I feel like I've read this before.
For the life I know.
One minute. Excuse me. Okay, is that enough time?
Mm-hmm.
So can I ask, how about Jose Pelayo? What happened in that section of text?
She got sent mail, and
Yep.
there was an invitation, and she got mad at her husband because she didn't have anything to wear to
So
Yeah.
what was it an invitation to?
a ball, I think.
A ball.
Yeah, it's a ball.
Okay,
A very fancy
fantastic.
one.
That's right. In fact, it says, the Minister of Education and Madame Rappenou request the pleasure of your company of the Monsieur and Madame Lozelle at ministry on the evening of Monday, January the 18th. Okay, and her husband thought she'd be so excited. This is a big deal. Very few clerks get to go to this.
Yeah, and instead she just thought of what is she gonna wear? Like,
That's exactly right. The first thing she thought about is her appearance. So let's go ahead and take a look at the question. It says, how does Madame Loisel react to the invitation? So what is the answer? Hold on, let me pick on somebody. How about Andrea? How does she react? Or Valeria? How about Valeria? What's the answer? How does Madame Loisel react to the invitation?
She was upset.
That's exactly right. She is very nice. I don't even know how to do that. She is upset because she does not have anything appropriate to wear. That is absolutely correct. So can someone help me here? Let's review or summarize what we've read. We have this long introduction which serves to describe this woman's character and her husband. Who can tell me about this woman?
She's self-centered.
She is self-centered. Outstanding. What does she care about?
Money.
Herself, her appearance.
Money,
Money.
her appearance, money, living a high-class life because of her beauty.
Right. She thinks she
Her
deserves
beauty.
something more because of her beauty. All right. That's exactly right. All right. How about her husband? Can someone tell me about him?
The
Grateful.
working man.
Grateful.
Happy with his life.
Beautiful.
Appreciates anything, basically.
Yep.
So how do you think, as experienced readers, how do you think this character trait of greed and avarice and kind of this narcissism he has, how do you think this is going to turn out for her?
Not well.
Exactly.
I wouldn't think something good would happen to her. No.
She's gonna regret it.
That's my smart kids. That's my smart kids.
He'll die.
All
I wouldn't say die, but I think something like bad would happen to her.
That's when the necklace comes in.
Yeah.
Yup.
The necklace is gonna kill her.
No. Well, I think I've read this before, and I think it's gonna work her.
Nope, don't share anything. So all this greed and narcissism, we know as experienced readers, will turn out badly for her. Okay, so I want to add one last little thing that I haven't done before with you. So I want to sign out, and I just want to review the questions with you, just to make sure that there aren't any questions about the questions. So I'm going to log back in as a teacher. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah,
Great job, guys. Really appreciate that. All right, classes, assignments. And I'm going to go moving down the necklace. And I think I can do this. View text and library. I think I can do this without showing you answers. Assessment questions. Beautiful.
10 questions.
So, these are the assessment questions. I just want to go over them with you really quickly. You can't do this, only I can. I just want to make sure that everybody understands this. Number one is very straightforward. It's asking you what a word means. You guys know exactly how to do that. Look for context clues. Which clue best supports that? Second A, part A, part B. We know that drill. I'm going to give you something, and you're going to have to support it. Part A, it's another two-part question. We know the drill. What does the conversation between Matilda and her husband in paragraphs 10 through 13 reveal about the characters' different points of view? Oh, we just talked about that.
Oh.
Which quotations support that? Easy peasy. Attitude about life differ from her husband's. Oh my God, we've already done all these.
It's the most biggest thing difference.
Theme of the text. Which sentence bit? Like theme in this case is going to be.
This looks easy.
Kind of like a lesson.
Yes.
And here's what I wanted. The last one I want to talk about. So, couple things, guys. Here's the writing question. It says, using examples from the text, explain the irony at the end of the story. irony, and I defined it for you in the scaffold. You can see it at the bottom. Situational irony is when something happens that's kind of funny or amusing in some sort of way.
Sarcastic.
Pardon me?
Wouldn't it be another word be kind of like sarcastic?
Yeah, it's kind of like a form of sarcasms.
Yeah,
Right?
sarcastic.
That is absolutely right. And so this is the writing section. You must include a quote. I have set up the scaffold for you, so it should make it very easy.
It does make it very easy.
Huh?
Yeah. It does make it very easy.
Blessing. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm not looking to make this hard for you. I'm looking to expose you to quality literature so that we can keep our education going here. I want to look at this last one here. Wait.
Isn't it?
Let me go back. Hold on. Part A. How does Matilda's attitude change after she vows to replace Madame Forrest? Okay. Kind of. You do not have to write. This is just one sentence, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to give me evidence for it if you don't want to. You just give me one sentence. You don't have to write a full essay answer for this one, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Again,
Yeah.
you do not need to write one of those 3-paragraph exit ticket responses for this. Just give me one sentence.
Gracias, señor.
Gracias.
Nada.
Gracias.
Okay. Evelyn, you have a hand raised? What's up, girl?
No, it's been there.
Okay. So that is the end of today's lesson. I can hang on for a couple of minutes, but I've actually got to go a little bit early today. It's my wife's birthday, and I need to go take some care of something for her.
Tell Grandma I said happy birthday.
Yeah, I think you said happy birthday.
I will.
Happy birthday.
Why
don't you read
kill
So
me?
we can say happy birthday.
If I call her grandma, I'm a dead man. Does it?
I feel like you are.
Shelly, you're such a sweetheart. Do you guys have any questions about today's lesson?
No.
No.
All right. Try to knock it off today. It's a good story. I think you'll enjoy it. She gets what's coming to her. All right. So I will. Oh, Omar, you're so nice. I appreciate that. Again, you can make sure and use the scaffold if you need to. And be well, my friends.